Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
White people are scared to death right now, particularly white males. They're scared to death that they are going to lose their power in the future. And they are.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew, then you let's face it, baby, you know all the places. My place is your place, my place, your place, my place. Just face it, no one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock. We in our own zone. Make yourself at home. Get to know mine on the inside. Can meet at yours next. And you feel it rushing, lose control. You don't wanna go slow, for sure. We both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it, baby, you know all the places. Places like I do. My place like you do.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Smash that like button.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get
smash that like button.
No sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew, then you we both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it, baby, you know all the
Shit is real. Shit done got real up in here. See, but people don't listen. I can't make people listen. Smash that like button. Hey, what's up, y'all? D. Allen, Georgia Peach. Everybody watching. Look, we gotta shake reality. All of us, you know, and it's some real shit. It's real. Very real. Hey, Stephanie. Some people feel a little hurt, but the truth is the truth. You gotta tell the truth. You gotta be real. Seriously. Um, I'm not I'm gonna try to stay on just an hour, but that's kind of hard when Ali Bamu jump his butt on the piano. And isness. They make me stay. They be having me on here for 4 hours. Hey, girly girl. Hey, y'all. Smash the like button. So the topic for today is very real. And we got to understand the way the system works over here. Hey, DL, why you laughing? Hey. So, people, okay, I understand, I look, I do genealogy, and um uh people have it very confused. A lot of people, and it's gonna take a whole lot of people uh that's gonna be unqualified for reparations in these here 50 states. It's going to, a lot of people are going to be unqualified because the fight is indeed, wait a minute, we know you were born here on, U.S. soil, but you gotta wake up and shake the coffee. And you got people running around here screaming about reparations, and trying to hold the 50 states responsible for their ancestors' slavery. And y'all got to wake up and smell the coffee. A whole lot of y'all. A whole lot of y'all. Seriously. Everybody's ancestors wasn't a slave in these here 50 states. Can y'all give me a 1 if you understand that? All these people, these thousands of people, okay, that's claiming reparations, their slavery wasn't within these 50 states. And that's definitely a fact. You have to understand that. Now, I know y'all are our brothers and sisters, but you cannot claim reparations off of the citizens of the United States tax dollars for reparations. I'm just keeping it real. And this doesn't mean that I hate you and I have something against you and all that. Now, individually, I have issues with some people, but not all our brothers and sisters. And I'm sure they feel that way about me too. I mean, come on, you got to keep it real. If your ancestors were enslaved in another country, you can't come to the United States and claim reparations off of the citizens' tax dollars. That's going to be a problem. I don't care what committee is forming at the federal level. I'm serious. You can form all the committees you want at the federal level. But if it's unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional. United States is not going to take the blame of another country's enslavement of people. And that's a fact. Now, we understand, and it's very clear that, the continent has its indigenous people. We get that. But we're not responsible for the other areas of the continent's enslavement. We're not. Only the ones that United States can attest to. And the first thing you have to know is when the United States was formed, okay? Yeah, they ain't got shit to do with slavery where another country enslaved you. I'm keeping it very real. And that's facts. If the Dutch enslaved you, United States ain't got nothing to do with the enslavement that took place in Brazil, Haiti, um, Jamaica, uh, you know. Now, Barbados, yeah, some, but not all. Only the ones they brought there to be enslaved. And the descendants that were brought from United States to Barbados can prove that they were brought there. All right. But when you're talking about Brazil and all these other countries on the soil of the North American continent, okay, the soil of the North American continent, which is the American soil. The United States is a country on the North American continent. They are not responsible for the other countries on the continent's slavery. So this is where the big problem lies at, and people are not understanding this. You know, I think they're kind of like woke now and got a shake of reality. And I know, over in Q Buddy channel and Garfield and all them, they know now. So you could form all these fucking committees that you want, but United States, by the time it hits the Supreme Court justices, they're gonna be like, well, wait a minute, it's unconstitutional. Because the attorneys who are going to fight you at that level, once something in Congress has been implemented or tried to be implemented with the tax dollars, they have to take that to the 9 Supreme Court justices. Somebody that's going to be opposing to that. And it's going to be deemed unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional to take U.S. tax dollars and give reparations to people that the United States, 50 states, did not enslave. And that's a fact. You got the Dutch, the French, the British, Portugal, Spain, okay, England. They brought slaves, supposedly so-called, from Africa, but they put them in other parts of the North American continent and enslaved them. They didn't bring them into the 50 states and enslave them. Now, some of them, their descendants, have come here and became citizens, okay, by naturalization. All of you that came here through the naturalization process who are descendants of slaves and the country you came from with your green card or your naturalization process, your issue is in the country that your ancestor was enslaved in. And I think it's clear now. So now these big, huge followings that's going on in YouTube about reparations this and reparations for that, it's going to get real small. It's going to get real small. Yeah. I'm just going to make it real simple for you. If you had to be naturalized, you can't claim the reparations off United States tax dollars for enslavement. Because if you had to be naturalized to be a citizen in the United States, it's obvious your ancestors are from another country. Because if your ancestors wasn't from another country, you wouldn't have to go through a naturalization process. A lot of people are leaving and forgetting that. They're forgetting, oh shit, anybody that came here and had to do the naturalization process, or if you have a green card or you're on a visa and you are a descendant of a slave, you was not that did clearly just the fact of having to go through the naturalization process clearly says that you did not have slavery. You were not, your ancestors were not enslaved in these 50 states. I'd like someone to step to the throne, and I'm opening my link up early because we're going to go at it. See, a lot of these people got to remember who they are before they go telling people and guiding people to create bills. Sheila Jackson. Mm-mm. You can't bring your island friends and buddies over here to claim reparations. And you can't tell the ones that was born here to claim reparations because their slavery was not here. It was where they came from. If they had to have a green card to get here, you cannot claim reparations. Sorry, Sheila. And people from the islands, unfortunately, because you got to understand the islands speaks for itself. If it says British colony this or Dutch colony, just like in Louisiana, what is that, a French colony? Now, here's the other light bulb for that. Indians, okay, Aboriginals that were already here on this soil were enslaved by Dutch, by French, by Portugal. All right. Yeah. Indians, Aboriginal to this country, this soil, this part of the North American soil that was already here were enslaved. Some were. But then, because so many of us in the South, now I'm talking in the Confederate States, were enslaved by our own ancestors. So that's where it gets funky at. But there's other things that go with that because of the land theft and in the manner it was taken from the people, our people who owned slaves, the manner in which it was taken, the land was taken from them. That's going to be tough, y'all. That's going to be tough. And I want to dialogue about it. Now, just because they were, now, our brothers and sisters that were enslaved in the islands, our brothers and sisters, they still are brothers and sisters. It's just that it's going to be very difficult, you know, even if they were born on this land, a lot of them had to get green cards to come here. Yeah. So that's what's going to be very difficult. So, and a lot of these folks that's jumping up, waving their hand and pumping their fists for reparations are a lot of babies born in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s that were not educated about that. And now they're starting to see, like, whoa. And even with, in Tariq's audience, he has a huge audience, but a lot of them are truly not. Um, a lot of them are from the islands. They still are brothers and sisters, but the folks that enslaved them or supposedly enslaved them are, you know, it has nothing to do with the 50 states tax dollars. So it's not going to fly at all. And now I see where, Miss Jackson woke up to that because she's West Indian and she can't unless now her dad is her dad. I don't know. It says she has West Indian parents. So that's gonna be kind of hard. So yeah, I I don't know what else to say at this point. That's very clear. The other day I just spoke about strictly Jamaica because I had a horrible argument with this Jamaican dude and I had to set him straight. But I can't leave out um the other islands that are British islands. Some the French had slaves, you know, uh but it's really a really touchy thing. And that those multitudes of people that are fighting even in California for reparations, their genealogy is like literally leading them back to islands. And you got to be very careful. Yeah, XXX. So I I had something open and it's like real crazy. Um the this looks real crazy. And I mean you could tell it's like really weird. It's former British colonial dependencies, slave registers. Um and this shit is like really weird. Let me just do a share screen real quick. All right. This is like really, really weird. Let me just go back one page. All right. Let me go to the top. Now, all right, here we go, y'all. I think I'm gonna bring this over to the beginning so I don't lose it damn thing. I don't know how this got way over there. Okay, I think it's in this right place now. Let me do a share screen. Let's go. All right. So y'all should be able to see this. It says all. Man, I don't see it. This screen is a real delay. Smash the like button, y'all. Please, thank you. I appreciate it. It really helps. I don't know why this stupid thing should be showing now. Yeah, there it is. All right. So it's like former, all former British colonial dependencies, slave registers, 1813 to 1834. All right. So, like, when you, let me see, which one did I click on? Check this out, y'all. Now it's saying like all of these are in Jamaica. You see that? Could y'all see this okay? Give me a one. Give me a one if y'all can see this okay. I don't know. It must be a goddamn delay. Okay. Thank you, girly girly. It must be some kind of delay. But anyway, it's all former British colonial dependencies, slave registers, 1813 and 1834. And then they got Age Jamaica. And the owner, the enslaver, is the Honorable Lord Viscount Dudley. And in here, it's literally in this database, it's 3,178,595 slaves in here. And this is all Jamaica. Do y'all give me fire? I need to know the difference. If you literally see this, it's 3,178,595 slaves. Oh, let me make it bigger. Okay. I'll make it bigger. Is that better? It should be a little bit better. Good. You can see it. It's right here. Right. Right there. 3 million. And it's all in Jamaica. Now, I'm going to show you a record. I'm going to show you some shit. Hopefully it'll change over. Now, it's saying William Sherry, gender male. And this nationality they're saying is Creole. I didn't know Creole was a nationality. I thought it was a damn language. Y'all, I thought Creole was a language. Am I wrong? Is Creole a language or is it a nationality? I, I just want to know. That's what I thought too. But on here, see, this is what the ancestry did shit they do. This is their database. But then when you look at the record, when you look at the record, I'm gonna pull up the record. I don't know if the record's shared. Oh, good, it did share. And this is where he is. Now, I cannot pay. This is what I tell you, I can't pay attention to um their columns. I gotta go by the columns they got on the damn paper. Now, you know this shit was written up. Come on. Look how neat that is. Then again, maybe it's not. Maybe somebody did write that neat, but I doubt. But look at, see how their columns is different from ancestry. That's why you got to look at the whole goddamn paper. Now, it's in this column, it says color. That's not a nationality. You have to be very careful. Very careful. That they're not using Negro as a race. It's color. Do y'all see this shit? Yeah, it's neat, but look at the heading. It says color, not race. Negro is not a a race. It's a color. It's a color. This is in the very. This is 1813. So this, yeah, Negro was never a race. This what the shit that you need to understand. Forget the neat writing and the hijack shit. Negro was never a race. COLOUR. The way you spelt it, love, Mifro, is the way it's spelt in United States English. COLOUR. Color. But back in this time, color, because you got to remember these are people of other races. So Negro was never a race. It was never a race. It's color of skin. In Spanish, it means black. It's Negro was never a race. Black was never a race. So you really have to understand that Negro, black, is not a race. It's color of skin. So on your birth certificate, when it says Negro and colored, that's skin color. It's not a race. So you were not, you got to understand. You got to understand that you need to really, I'm telling you right now. Wait a minute. Let me stop sharing this for a minute because I'm going to come back to this. You have to understand this. All right? Negro and colored and black are not races. That's color of skin everywhere. On your birth certificate, when you see Negro, colored, black, that's the color of the baby. I'm not going, listen, y'all. I know I got my cakes on, but this is fact. So when you're looking at your birth certificate, understand, understand this, y'all. I told y'all I'm changing my whole platform, and so you can understand what exactly you're seeing on your birth certificates. All right. The United States never racially classified you. Ever. Do you understand this? I'm telling you this, and you need to understand this. See, we walk around and we think we're saying our race is black and Negro and colored. No, all they did on your birth certificate was describe the color of your skin. Give me fire because you need to know this. Oh, it's so much more. I'm just throwing it to you a little bit by a little bit. You're welcome, love, my fro. You gotta this is what you gotta get in your head now, going forward in life. They never classified you racially. They couldn't because you're the Indian. Okay, I'm going too far. Just understand that. You gotta understand this. Because if they're sitting in their office and they're reading your paper, they say, "Oh, I'm reading a black-skinned person's paper. This is who I'm reading about." It automatically lets them know. They needed that for their mental intellect. All right, who am I reading about? Am I reading about a white baby or a black-skinned baby? You got to understand the mindset. See, they go with your flow and your way of thinking and your way of comprehending it. So they run with it. Why do you think they have laws now in their offices coming out of state government? Oh, you don't have to answer this question. We're just we don't keep a track of whether you're black or white, or y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You hear those laws, right? Judge Joe Brown gonna hang me for this, but I don't care. I our people were very vulnerable and naive, and I got to break it to you like this. Oh, they think they're black. They don't know who they are. Okay, they're black. That's not a racial classification. It didn't mean that shit in the 1800s and 1700s, and it don't mean it today. But because you rock with it because of indoctrination and all this stuff, you have to understand that when you came into the corporation, they never classified you. Your classification is in the Constitution. It's Indian. When I see my young brothers and sisters, you know, that's why I don't really like to fight with our young brothers and sisters because I know how they are easily deceived by things that they look at. Oh, okay, it's black. It's not your race, baby. It's the color of your skin. It has always been the color of your skin. It's never been about what your race was. It's always has been about what the color of your skin is, because that's how they determined who you were and where you stand in society. Yes, it's it means a lot when you say black. It means it's void and all that, all those meaning. But understanding what it means really means on your birth certificates. It's the it's the visualization of your skin color, and it always has been. You can look up the definition of race, Mr. Wisdom Show. Go for it. I know this hurts, but it's the truth. I know it's a kickback, but it's the truth. All right, let's go back to our document, y'all. All right. So let me just get over here for one quick second. Okay. Um, Let me just do this for this fool. All right. Hang on, y'all. Let's go here. I'm gonna make this bigger for y'all so y'all can see it. All right, color. The property possessed by an object of producing different sensations on the eye as a result of the way the object reflects or emits light. Similar hue, shade, tint, tone, ting, cast, tincture. Those are all um, synonyms for color, color in English. Now, and then it goes down here, pigmentation of the skin. All right. This is the noun, COLOUR. All right. Hue, shade, tint, tone, ting, cast, tincture. Similar. Okay, number two, pigmentation of the skin, especially as an indication of someone's ethnicity. Okay. Similar. Skin color, skin coloring, skin tone, complexion coloring. Color. Similar. Tint, dye, ting, shade, pigment, stain, color wash, color in. I'm fucking done with this. All right. Please don't try to dare insult my intelligence ever. I know, I know you're angry with the boomer generation, and the X generation gets on your nerves. I get that. We X generation, you call us OGs. Okay, I'm back in the day. My mom's a boomer. I'm X generation. I'm between you and my mama, and you being the grandchild. And I'm not saying that you Y generations are stupid and dumb. I'm not saying that. I am not saying the millennials. I actually honor you guys. I love you guys so much. But I want you to understand what I'm showing you so you can unlock what's in your head. On your birth certificate, when you see black and Negro and colored, that is a determination of your skin color. And you better believe that to the core of your being. When you see race, oh, you're from a black race. And what is the black? The skin tone. You're from a black race, a brown race. You are. You're from a darker race. It distinguishes you from white Europeans. So when you see white, okay, you're from the white European race. Automatically, if there a doctor is reading something, he knows if he's dealing with a white person or a black person. It is always been about the color of your skin, and that's all it is. Let's go, y'all. Let's go back there. All right. So now, which is really funny and interesting here. So we understand. Give me, now that you know this, when you look at your birth certificate, you should now look at it differently. Give me a one if today is the day that you're going to look at your birth certificate differently. I need to feel that from you. So give me some ones if you're going to look at your birth certificate differently now and understand it differently. All right, D. Allen. All right, Enoch. All right, Straight Smoke. All right, Love Info. St. Louis, George, Jennifer. All right, baby girl. Monaga. Hey, Chief Williamina. I remember her name now. Mama Chief throws me off. Israelite. All right. Good. So now every day when you go to sleep at night, you just hug yourself. All right, Rodney. Say, wow. Lady Moon. Yeah. All right, good. So let's move along. Now check this shit out. On here, they want to know if you're African or Creole. I read and I look at I see Creole people. They want to know if you're African or Creole. Okay. All right, Mama Chief, got you. African or Creole. Now, here's some funny shit. And I know this to be accurate because son of Sabrina, who is number 31 on the list. So if we go back and look at the earlier sheets, Sabrina is number 31 because I went back. Oh, wait a minute. Is it down here with the girls? I think it is Sabrina. Let me see. Oh, that's the end of that. It's on the other. Oh, it's on the other sheet. She's number 31. So, yeah, she's number 31 because these are the males and uh those are the females. So it's the other sheet. But look at this shit, y'all. Creole, right? All of them saying Creole. Even when you get to the men, all saying Creole. Right? They want to know if you're Creole or if you're African. Now watch this. Let's let this down. Um, let's get back to here. Watch this shit, y'all. There's one on here where they got Africa from Africa. I've been looking at all of them, and they got one on here that's saying African, but then when you get on the sheet, it says Creole. That's why I know they with the bullshit. But all of these are from Jamaica. Let me see. Jamaica. See? Kingston, Jamaica. Shit is crazy. So, how? Tell me this. Let me see. Let me go to page 2. This whole database is Jamaica. Yo, I could even go out to the last page. And these are people born in the 1700s. 1700s and where they actually lived. Okay? These are people's ancestors. See, when you do this, see, you can't play around. Now watch out, all them people. Now, see, this is Barbados, Busso, March, Barbados. Now, you look at this. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, okay, it's starting to clear up. See, even in Barbados, look at color. See, this is a whole different person writing. Look, color, COLOUR. All that's not a race. It's what color is this person? Now it takes your COLOUR. This thing is a little behind. All right. Now, this person's a Barbadian. That could be considered a race. Barbadian. Country, Barbadian. So that is this race, Barbadian, and they are from the Americas. See, look over here. Colored, COLOURED. That's all they want to know. Now, these are British. This is the British. These are all your slaves, so-called 3 million. I told you I'm not playing with these goddamn people. I'm not. Now, let's go. Listen. And that's all that means is the color of your skin. So, now, D. Allen Moore, I, I'm just, listen, you have to go by what's on the federal document. Ancestry had a whole nother goddamn column heading up there. Oh, The deceit is real. Now, I'm going to put the link in the chat because I want a dialogue. Don't be scared to come up here. Don't be scared. And if not, I'm going to log off. But I wanted to put that in you. I'm telling you, I'm pulling it out slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm going slow with you because you got to see. All that shit mean on your birth certificate is the color of your skin. Back during that time. United States can't move the goalposts. See, United States is doing just like Ancestry, or Ancestry is following United States League. You see how Ancestry put race up there? And then when you look at the damn paper, it's a whole different thing. Well, that's what United States did when they put race there, because it should have been colored. They're following the same league. You can't fuck with federal documents. Unconstitutional. So to the eye, oh, my race is black. No. Look at the paper, baby. That's the color of your skin. That's what they're deciphering. This right here. What's this? That's what it is. What? Oh, the color of this baby. See, they wrote race there, but you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. So I'm going to give y'all a minute to get on up here and tell me what you think about that. I'm dropping it little by little. And I don't care what people say. I don't care. Really, 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 I don't care. Let's go, y'all. Oh, I got to drop the link in the chat. And I'll be back. Did that go? This right here. Come on. I'm going to pin it. There it is. It's pinned to the top. And I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to drink some water, y'all. I need a little water drink, man.
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far away I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So you don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering. I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big Been y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, Kevin. I mean, first of all, we got to do it right. You got to understand it was always about the color of your skin. That's all it ever meant. It meant nothing more. 1988 is when they tried to give you a racial identity. In 1988, they tried it African American. That's when they tried to give you a racial identity. Look when African American became a racial classification. Look up the year. The whole time in history, when your ancestors were born, not once did they put African as a race. Not once. Keep going back on grandma and grandpa's history. Keep going back and look at what it got. Colored, Negro, colored, Negro. Keep going back and look for African. You ain't gonna find it. Look up that year, y'all, real quick. Google it, y'all. No time in early history was grandma and grandpa ever called, go there and bring them Africans over here. Prove it. It was always, that's a colored girl. Colored. You colored. Colored. Never once mentioning African, not even written back in that time in history on their death certificates or birth certificates when they came out. Never written. African is not even written in the Constitution. On the North American mainland, even white people back 1700s, 1600s, when we was walking around on this edge, they ain't never say, oh, it's an African girl over there, a little African girl. No, it's a colored girl. It was a colored man who did it. He raped me. Not African. Why not? El Bay, sure. You got to show your face back there because I don't want to get porn bombed. Because I know people are really going to be angry now. But if you could just turn your camera on for a hot minute and turn it back off so I can make sure you're not going to porn bomb me and sit there for a second. Let me see you. Oh, boy. Why you be coming up here with these little fake names?
Oh, I forgot what panel I was on with his name. I forget to change it when I'm going on other panels or whatever.
Now, what do you want now?
I'm a more today. Look at me. I got L Bay Sure. That's creative.
I
L
thought
B
you
Sure.
said
I'll be sure.
I'll be sure.
Yeah, you liked Al B. Sure back in the day, right? I love an Al B. Sure fan.
He was all right.
You wasn't into the light-skinned singers back then, huh? When it was a style.
I did not say that. Now, where did that come from?
That was the era of the light. Well, that was the last era of the light-skinned brothers. That was the last era of the light-skinned brothers until Guy and them came out.
You mean Michael Jordan?
Oh, was it Michael Jordan that ushered that in? I mean, you had Mike, you had not Denzel Washington, he brown skin. You had what's his name? At Wesley Snipes and all them dudes.
I do not think Wesley Snipes is cute. Stop.
Oh, there was a lot of Wesley Snipes fans. He a good brother. He actually bought jewelry from us before.
He's an excellent actor. I can say that, but
you didn't like the New Jack City haircut he had.
Oh, I love that movie. I loved that movie. New Jack City. Yes, I loved it. But
you know what's crazy? That storyline actually come from Detroit. The New Jack City storyline was based on the true story.
Oh, I believe it. That's like in every huge city. Even here in Connecticut, you got a Nino Brown in every state. Come on now. It's made for the hoods. But what do you want, troublemaker?
Well, this is the thing, right? As a descendant of an African slave, right? If everybody else got their reparations, I mean, the Japanese got their reparations. There's these different groups, you know, the Native Americans.
All right, all right, let's do you real quick. Let me ask you this. Oh, I could take this down. Where and why can't you turn your camera on? Everybody know what you look like.
Oh no, I'm over here making jewelry and stuff. I got my pajamas on and all that. So
I do too. It just looks like I don't. Because I threw my hat on to throw it off. But where was your mother born? You don't got to say her name.
She was born here in Detroit.
Where was your grandmother born?
Detroit.
Where was your great-great-grandmother born?
Georgia.
Where was your great-great-great-grandmother born?
Oh, man. She was born, literally right after slavery. So they were born, I think they were born down. I'm trying to think they were born down in Georgia too. Somebody moved here from the Carolinas.
All right, because now I'm about to knock you out the box. No, which one of their racial identities was African?
Well, my great-great-grandmother was actually mulatto.
All right,
so
that's cool.
Put that up.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, so was the sure one of them probably were European. Which one was not European? Was it the mother or the father?
It was the great-great-grandfather that was in Europe. Well, hold on. Okay, so before the end, the great-great-grandmother, I think it was her father. Her father was European.
All right, so she that is smoke. So she was. Did she have? She was what we call African American today.
Yep, like all of us.
Now, do you have the record or census sheet?
Yeah, that's what we get the record. Yeah.
All right, so it says African on it.
No, I gotta go back and look at it, see if it say African.
You know damn well it don't. If it says colored, you got to come clean with me, bro. If it says
I gotta see if it even say colored at the time. That's old. That's the 1800s.
That's where it would have been said. I just showed you 1700 census. and 1813. And it said colored, COLOURED, or colored, COLORED. So let me know when your ass want me to make your Indian headdress.
Well, we gotta say that about my supposed cousin
Yo,
on my great
you just,
grandfather's side,
hold up,
which
hold up.
is even
You
Ibrahim. So,
just publicly announced that you are indeed an Aboriginal to the North American continent. God damn, Cass.
right before she was born, slavery was
Welcome. I'm so proud of you.
my great grandmother was mulatto. So do I claim my European side as well?
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Welcome.
A lot of
You are
folks need to
Aboriginal.
a lot of folks need to come clean about their white family that they descend
That
from.
ain't got nothing to. So what if they got white? So what if they got white? You're Aboriginal to the Americas. I'm
Yeah,
so
but
proud of you for coming up and openly telling the truth.
so was the white man that would be my great grandfather. Would he be Aboriginal as well? Because he's here at the same time.
No, he's actually, well, you got to find out, is he Irish? Is he Dutch? Because that's where his lineage leads him.
Scottish.
Okay, so depending on, if he's from England, like he's British. He's
Yeah,
British.
these folks they migrated. So you
Yeah,
got
he's
James
British.
Adair. Yeah, you
He's
got James
British.
Adair,
He's
which when
British.
they came to Virginia.
So he's
And
British. You got a British grandfather. So what? That still doesn't take your Aboriginal status to the North American continent away.
but see, this is the thing though. That family had slaves. So this goes back to James Adair and all them that pop up in
So
my
what?
family.
They had slaves. I don't care. My family had owned slaves. And your point.
But he married I think he was married to a Cherokee woman, but he had a son. The son ended up becoming the governor of South Carolina. This is how my family got into Georgia, because remember, Georgia wasn't.
That's fine. I don't even care about all that. You know what I care about, King Cass, is the fact that you're Aboriginal to America. Unless you bring me a government document that states granny and grandpa.
But you would also have to question me about that white man. If you're gonna
No, I
question me about
don't. I don't have to question you about the white man. I do
say,
not
was he
have
really
to
from Ireland?
Listen.
Scotland.
I don't have to question you about the white man. Why? Leave the white man alone. That's your grandfather. Leave your grandfather alone.
Because check this out.
No.
We know the height of the slave trade was in the
Let me tell you
1700s,
something, bro.
right?
Let me
We
tell
know
you
that
something.
the Adirs came over here.
Look, stinky butt. Look. Leave the white man alone. Let him rest in peace. Leave him alone.
But you're part of the family. Yeah, I mean,
yes, he is. He's your granddaddy. Your granddaddy is British. So what? You're Aboriginal to the Americas. On your granddaddy's side, you're British. So what? You got Aboriginal blood in the Americas.
But you got to look at all these Scots. The Scots had slaves over here in the Americas.
That ain't got nothing to do
with crazy. The Scots was coming.
Cass, that has nothing to do with you being Aboriginal to America. It has nothing to do with you being Aboriginal to America.
So let's say this. He came to Virginia, right?
I don't care if he came to Virginia. He came here and married somebody.
Yeah, but he also had slaves that he was, you couldn't say nothing back then. He got him a little Cherokee woman. And then he went down. They moved down into Georgia, South Carolina.
That's a different part of your ancestry. The one that Sister Bethy is interested in, it's your Aboriginal status.
But we don't know if these were African. We got to see if these were African slaves. We don't really have a definite answer if they Indian or not.
Excuse me. If you was African, it would have been on the records, bruh. I'm sorry. I know you want to put Africa there, but if it wasn't there, it's because the government knew that your grandmama is not African, colored, Negro. So when you find African on your census sheet back in the 1800s, come show Sister Bethy. I doubt it. Why
Well,
don't you
Africa
just
had many names.
why
Let's call it
why don't
Guinea, Guinea land, all that back then.
ain't got nothing to do with that? Grandma's from here, boy. I'm gonna make you an indigenous hat, and I'm going to give you your headdress for your Aboriginal status to America. You just publicly acknowledged and identified your family on YouTube.
Now, if I told you this, my grandma said we had Cherokee in our family, then we could say that.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
no.
Then somebody said we had Choctaw. I would remember when we
You
were going to
probably
the
do.
family reunion.
So you probably guess what? You good? You from the same tribe as Judge Joe Brown. You could just kill it now.
Oh,
Let
Judge
it
Joe
go.
Brown going around saying he Choctaw.
He is Choctaw. He came on the piano and said it. So welcome to the Aboriginal world. So maybe next time you come on, you could put Chief Cass.
But these Choctaw people never showed up to the they never showed up to the family reunion. We was waiting for people with Indian headdress and all that to come dance around.
Maybe they didn't want to wear them. But I show up to my cookouts with my little headdress on.
I just thought folks.
So
was lying.
next time you go to your family gathering, put your damn headdress on that I'm gonna make you and send to you.
I go and wear it. I go where if we can definitely prove that Choctaw. Now this is on my great grandfather's side of the family, right? So the Choctaw was supposed to come and dance at the family reunion, but they never showed up, right? So that never happened. So we don't really have definite proof.
So
of
next
that.
time
Even
you go,
one of my cousins.
we're gonna bless your little feather hat that I'm gonna make for you, and I'm gonna send it to you in the mail. Or if you got a PO box, I'm gonna make one for you. And the next time you go to your family gathering, I want you to get your ass up and do a little powwow.
Well, can you put red, black, and green feathers in there?
Hell no. No. Hey, Straight Smoke, I'm about to choke.
How you doing, Sister Bethy? Thank you as always.
Hey.
I just did a dive on what you just put in, and there is no classification.
Nope.
I mean, there's literally none.
It was all about color and for them to be able to determine who they're evaluating if the person's not in front of them. They know automatically that they're dealing with a brown person versus a white person. That's what it all was ever about. Even in the General Assembly back in the late was it 1868, they identified the senators as colored versus the ones that are white. We in trouble now. That's you, my boo boo. Let me put up my thing.
Oh my God.
He don't got to turn on his thing. Wait a minute.
And I know that's him, but they only did that by saying that you had to have.
Is that you, Bamu?
Your place of mine.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh man.
But
all you had to have was 1/4 black blood or less.
He ain't fighting. Cash, you got to send me your PO box. Email it to me.
I want to.
I'm gonna put my let me see. Let me put my little private chat. I'm gonna put my email so you can email me so I can mail you your feather hat.
But Sister Bethy, this is the thing. When I did my DNA test, no native. I think 1% popped up for my uncle. And for me,
King Cass.
So now you know what they're trying to do to you. They're trying to take the Indian out of you. So Sister Bethy's to your rescue. I'm sending you a headdress. So I put my email in the back. So make sure you give me your PO box, baby, so I can send it to you. I'm gonna make you a nice one.
Queen Mother.
For a mail.
Ali Bamu, please. I know you seen it earlier. I know you seen it earlier, Ali Bamu. I know you seen it earlier. Please go into that. Please go into that.
When we allow people to spin this narrative of Native American, could you please give them clarity? Because it seems they don't want to hear this old nigga say simple shit. All right. These Mongoloid, Asian, Caucasian, hybrids have been put in a pool by the Mormon Church. Would you agree, essentially? Though we don't know nothing about what they're cooking up over there. This is primarily Ancestry.com, correct? And that is
Oh
the
yeah,
Mormon
that's one
Church,
of them.
correct?
That's one of
That
them.
is the
Yeah,
Mormon Church. Now,
yeah.
when people still do not look at the small hat community, I know you don't want to discuss them directly, but this is a fact. They are in charge of many of these major testing companies, including the German owned ones that are from the pharmaceutical industry. Now, when they are collecting genetic material, what do you think that they're collecting human genetic material for, Queen Mother? It's not for genealogical astrology. What do you think that they are compiling this genetic material for?
I don't know.
Then what does it prove to tell people they are percentage of whatever category? What's the intent? Again, we're speculating here. We can't read into the minds of other people. Can we read into the agenda of the doctrine of discovery? Is that
Yes.
still implemented to this day in 2023?
Well, yes. Even though it was denounced, but yes, of course.
So then
You
what is
said
the
he was
intention of
moonwalking.
racial classifications then? In 2023, going into 2024, what are the intentions of racial classification? And how do you prove that you're in a class or a race? How do you prove? I'm not trying to be facetious though. Seriously,
No,
I'm
these are
trying to
simple
ask
questions.
a logical thing. How do you prove that?
You can't. But go ahead.
So the same genetic scientists who are saying amongst themselves that are arguing every day as we speak that this is compared to astrology.
All right.
Genetic
You
ancestry is the same as getting your astrology clock chart and the black light. Remember we talked last, my sister, about that
yes.
black light and
Yeah, I'm gonna step
what's
away
different.
for a minute. Ali Bamu,
Mhm.
Cass, and Straight Smoke, hold it down for me. I'll be right back. And don't
So whether
say
it's
any words
Cass
I don't like.
or smoke, the Native American is not the American Indian. Do you not understand that, King Cass?
No, I think they are the Native American. I mean, we found
I
their
didn't
bones.
ask you what you
We
think.
found their
I'm asking
bones
you a simple
that
thing.
date back to
The Native
20,000.
American is not the American Indian. Do you understand that? If you
No,
don't, then let me
that's not
explain.
true. Because you know,
Okay, then
you
let me
know how
explain to you.
Christopher Columbus described it?
Hold on,
Have you
Cass.
listened
Hold
to
on.
Christopher Columbus' description of it?
Hold on, Cass. First and foremost, you actually have to use your ears twice as much as your mouth if you want to learn. Okay? So now you just suggested you don't know. Do you want to
No, I
learn
didn't say I
or do
didn't
you
know.
want
I
to get
said they are the
Okay,
American.
okay. Well, I will sit on my tongue since you are so expert in this subject. Please continue.
So when we go to first-hand accounts like Christopher Columbus and he describes them, he said they're neither black nor white, right? He said their hair is like horsehair and they resemble what are those people? The Guanches of the Canary Islands. So the people of the Canary Islands were actually the descendants of the Berbers. And you look at the modern Berbers today, they like a beige looking kind of color to, a little light brown to light brown or whatever. So that's how he described them. He didn't say they had nappy hair. He didn't say they had big noses. He didn't say they were like super dark with dark skin and all this stuff. He described them saying that neither black nor white. So they didn't look like the European or they didn't look like the African. And I yield.
First of all, since you obviously seem to have a difficulty in understanding the fallacy of the Columbus theory, mythology, or the fact he never stepped foot on the mainland, you seem to ignore that, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. Secondly, all of these references that you keep trying to pull out of your hat or your rear end is because of Portuguese travels along the African coast. And if at least you did a little research, you would understand when the doctrine of discovery was implemented, the half of Brazil, that's why it's the only South American country that speaks Portuguese, and the bulk of your homeland, the African continent, was under Portuguese exploration. The Americas and the rest of the hemisphere on the other half of the map were carved up specific to Spaniards. Now, is that your understanding as well, Straight Smoke?
As far as I remember, and
Now, what was the two comparisons they made about the African and the American, referring to the American as Negro de terra, and what was the Negro terminology for the African that they interacted with, that they came over here with? Meaning, if I brought you with me, Smoke, and we run into even an ignorant Negro like King Cass, I obviously see another type of Negro. Would you agree?
Of course.
Isn't that the reason why they had in Portuguese and Spanish two different references of Negro?
Yep.
But we also
And the
see
Negro de terra, the Negro de terra was every interaction they had with the people who are now mislabeled and classified as American Indians throughout North, Central, South America, and the conjoining islands, like Autochthonous One educates us on regularly. So now, King Cass, you can hold your personal animus or ignorance. That's fine. But in this community, we are curtailing and quarantining the ignorance. Now, if you want to discuss, if you find yourself insightful enough, your Aboriginal origins, not the Native American imposters committing identity theft. If you'd like to discuss that, I'm more than willing to do that. But I'm not going to entertain you repeating the lies and propaganda of the Doctrine of Discovery, starting with Cristobal Colon, or if he actually existed. What say you, Straight Smoke?
After we had that nice enlightenment on Cut Tax channel earlier with a man from Africa that laid the groundwork for what I heard that man say, I don't see no debate to have with anybody else.
I mean, what was enlightening about it though, bro? Like, if you go into the forest of the Amazon today, the Indian people are still there. Do they have tightly curled hair? No. Are they dark brown? Yes. You know why? Because they live in subtropical regions. You see them with the wide nose and everything. They still live there. They speak a language that does not sound like Portuguese or Spanish, which is surrounded by them. It's its own language. It doesn't even match with the so-called Filipino or Siberian languages that y'all talk about or whatnot. They have their own autonomous language there and their customs. How did these people get there if they were from Africa? I mean, well, not Africa, they were black or whatever. They don't have tightly curled hair, bro. Like, they don't have no features like us, except maybe a little wide nose and a brown skin.
King Cass, now you keep asking a question, but you don't listen. Now, I'm going to ask you this as I've asked you before. Neither you or Not a Coincidence want to answer the simple question of why do you feel the need to perpetuate a slave ancestry? But you are familiar with there is such a thing as a trans-Pacific slave trade. You are aware of that, right?
Which we looked that up, and I think it was only 3,000 to 8,000 people that came over, opposed to 12 million Africans.
Oh my God! You're going to project. First of all, the alleged trans-Pacific traffic was for 2 centuries prior to pre-Columbian age of expiration. You are what? Straight Smoke, are you aware of that?
Yes, I am, and if that's that man standing, I'll let him have his way.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with him about, relishing in his ignorance. I'm saying, how in the world a few thousand happened in centuries before 12 million that they can't document that happened in less than a century and a half?
Numbers don't lie.
Now, how do you get millions from 1600 to barely 1750? But for another 3 centuries prior, from the 1100s, 1200s, and 1300s, only a few thousand? Straight Smoke, please help me make sense out of that.
Like I said, Ali Bamu, I understand where you're coming from, and I also understand where I'll be sure. Okay, yeah, I got you. I see where Cass is coming from. If that's that man's ideology and theology he wants to rock with, I will let him have his way. Again, I'm not here to convince anybody what they should believe in or what they shouldn't believe in. If you know the truth, you know the truth, and you're supposed to stand on that.
Now, if you heard that good brother, and that was Furio that we talked at length with earlier today,
yes,
why
sir.
is it that Shah's son wants to dismiss and diminish someone who is actually at home of not being in the region or territory from the myth that these individuals so desperately need to cling to.
What killed me, Ali Bamu, is what he said about his knowledge and his understanding is that we were all over the whole globe at first. And he did not reference himself as an African.
Without acknowledging an Ethiopian reference existed as well, did he not?
Yes, sir.
Now,
I
if
watched that whole thing.
we're not even saying we agree or disagree with him, the concept he suggested means negro de terra, right? You know what negro de terra translates into, right?
Yes, I
Dark
do. Go ahead.
people of the soil, right? Loose translation.
So did they go into details about their phenotype when they talked about the Negro de Terra, or were they just referring to brown skinned people? Because this is where we get Indian from. They called these people Indians because they had brown skin and all that, without having a reference to actual Indians, because they couldn't sell over that way because the Ottomans and the Arabs were whooping their ass. So they couldn't get over there.
Cass,
Get over
King
to get-
Cass.
go to the
You know,
Civil War.
I certainly hope that you do one day advance past maybe even preschool, because you seem to not even deal with elementary level understanding.
You know about the Ottoman Empire,
1950
right?
is when Hindustan or Indostan was named through colonialism. So how in the fuck does a lost Portuguese Negro, because he was also of complexion, Christopher Columbus, how in the world was he looking for India when India did not exist? Straight
Hold on,
smoke.
so he didn't exist.
How
He was a
straight
black
smoke?
man,
Straight
but
smoke.
he's
How
describing
did
people as
someone
Negro.
be
That don't even make
lost in trying to find India when India did not name or exist till 1950? Please explain that to me, Straight Smoke.
We debunked that on Not a Coincidence channel showing the maps. I think it was Not a Coincidence and Masi Warrior Clan showing the maps, old maps of India with not Roman but Latin, written in Latin letters and Latin spelling.
Again, Hindustan, Indostan, and if you bother to ask any Hindi, Brahmin, or the person you mischaracterize, as colonizers do, by calling them out of their name, out of their culture, and out of their language, did not get done so until British colonialism in 1950, sir. The same as China was Manchuria before, Straight Smoke. How did they become named China?
I believe the same way Nova Scotia became Russia.
So let's check this out. The word India comes from the word Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. So the word has always been there. Are we talking about a British and Western pronunciation of the word India? Because the word has always been there. You're just talking about Western pronunciation of the word. It comes from
No,
Indus,
we
Sindhu.
are talking about colonization and a colonized mind, King Cass, which you are obviously comfortable with. I am just asking you, why do you feel the need? I guess other than misery loves company, Straight Smoke, why do you feel the need to try to either browbeat, or bully other people who are trying to come out of their cocoon and fully become the butterfly, not Kunta Kinte, that they may turn out to be? Straight Smoke, what do you think about that?
In all actual facets of everything, how it is, and I have to go right back to what Furio said today. That is a total indoctrination. What did he say? You had to go to school to believe that you're African. That wasn't taught in their language. Sorry.
And that was it. Did I not ask him, was that an internal or external imposition?
Yes, sir, you did. And he said external. You had to go to school to believe you was from Africa.
And where did he learn that he was a Pan-African eventually?
His folks came from America.
And he embraced Marcus Garvey, that gave him what feeling about himself?
Self-pride.
All
And
right,
he
you
is a
guys.
Rastafari because of what? Not to trigger you over Jamaican culture, Queen Mother, but our good
Oh, I'm
brother
not. We on
Furio.
that now. We on that now. All right, I stepped away for y'all. All right,
Now,
let's
our
go
good
back.
brother Furio was a
This
Rastafarian we spoke with earlier today, Queen Mother.
All right. No, 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 no. I get it, but uh,
that's the
Cass,
Potomac world map right
sweetheart, if a government knows specifically that you're from Africa and they're census takers, they're going to write it down on the sheets. Do you understand that?
They're gonna write it down on
And,
the sheet.
and when was
They
African
just
references
classified as
made in
Wait,
the census
I'm
history, Queen
hang on,
Mother?
hang on,
When
hang
were
on.
African references
I'm
made?
telling you, when they knew who the Africans were versus who were the Aboriginals, and
Correct.
I'm going to show you. This is why I'm trying to tell you. I hope this opens your eyes a little bit, Cass, because I'm gonna mail you that headdress with them feathers. So let's go. Let's get back. It was always about color when the census takers went around. Now, when it got to, let me just show you.
Now, is it culture or is it ethnicity that we're talking about now?
I'm going to show you now. Just watch. Pay attention. Pay attention, my loves. All right, now, here, you can never go by ancestry's headings. All right, you have to go by the government agent. All right, now, color. This always meant in the government's eyes your skin color, age, and this column. They want to know if you're African or Creole. Do you understand that? Right? So now when you get down here, they know who the indigenous people are. It's clear. See?
And what census record is this, Queen Mother?
This is in 1813.
I
Now,
mean,
Sister,
what
when it got
state though?
down, no, this is in Jamaica. Pay attention, y'all.
Oh, gotcha,
Sister
gotcha.
Bethy, he said, Nada C said, go to the 1870 census and
Man, shut
place the
up.
birth section.
Look, I'm doing this. This is not a coincidence channel or whatever his goddamn name is. Old Betty, Negro. Okay.
I can
Now,
check it out.
she was 100 years old and she's African. See, they're listing the Africans versus the Creole. Do you see
And is
this?
the Creole considered like mulatto as a designation?
No, they're Negroes. It's still Negro, but distinguish these motherfuckers from the indigenous people. All right? Africans and the Creoles. You see? Africans from the Creoles. Africans from the Creoles.
Now, you said this is in Jamaica at what time?
Man, it's at the top of there. Can you see
No, I
that?
don't see it on the screen. I just see the names and the
No, if you
designations.
look up above it, it's some black writing saying former British colonial dependencies. I see it. Look up above in the black on the top.
Oh, you're talking about the frame. Is that 1813? It says there 1813 to 1833. It's real
Yes.
small on my screen. So
Oh, okay. All right, sweetheart. Yes. All right. So now the names, the color, it always meant color of skin. Now we will get over to who are you? African or a Creole? You are African. See? Now, could y'all please, my audience that's learning this, that got some damn sense, throw up some damn fire? Because, like I said, if you are who you're supposed to be, it's going to be noted that you came from Africa. So when I tell you, yes, baby. Now, like I said earlier, when you see Negro, It's always been about the color of the skin. So when you see Negro, that just means your skin is brown. You're black, right? You're dark. You're dark. All right. So when you're seeing Negro on your birth certificate, that doesn't mean that that's your race. It just means that you're a dark person. So that the person on the other side who's in the hospital or looking at your records know who they're dealing with, a brown person or a white person. That's all it is skin color. And again, here in the United States, let me stop sharing this shit. I'm going to say this, and I don't care. You don't let nobody interrupt you. You don't let nobody tell you shit. We got these agents out here, I'm telling you, that's trying to slash this shit. So when you're looking at your birth certificate, when you wake up in the morning and you see black, Negro, colored, that just means you're a brown-skinned person. They never, United States, never racially classify you. They always identify you as the color of your skin.
Can I read something, Sister Bethy?
No. The color of your skin. If Africans down there, then that agent talked to the person in the house and they said, oh, I came from Africa. That would be on the census sheet. And if it's there, then that's who the hell you is. In your history, and I mean, I did over 500 of your genealogies. No findings of Africa in your specific family. So throw up some fucking fire and take a bow. Don't let these agents fuck with your head no more. No more, never.
So, Sister Bethy, when we look at the etymology of the word, right?
Bombs are going off. You're being killed right now. You got to be quiet.
A lot of shooting.
Damn right. You're being killed. Now
But
go ahead.
check this out. Now it says the English language, the word Negro, or sometimes niggers for a female, is a term historically used to denote persons considered to be of black African heritage. The word Negro means the color black in both Spanish and Portuguese.
Where are you reading that from?
The term can be considered.
Where are you reading that from, sir?
It's different places y'all can go to.
Whether it's Webster, whether it's Oxford, whether
etymology.
Hold up.
Webster.
Hold up. Are you reading that from the United States government records?
We're reading it from Webster's Dictionary, dictionary.com, Oxford Dictionary, right? They also got a picture of Africa saying Negro land on it.
Is Noah Webster a government employee like me and Obama was? And is he? Is he one
U.S.
of the
Marshals, census takers, enumerators,
Supreme Court justices?
No, this is coming from the etymology of the word.
This is coming from propaganda, King Cass.
Right,
what's so hard for you to understand about this?
Sister Bethy, no matter what, you would have to still go by the Portuguese how they use it.
Listen. Understand this.
Oh wow.
Well, we don't care about the Portuguese. We didn't have Portuguese slave masters. Understand that. This is what you gotta open up a little more. We didn't have Portuguese slave masters. I didn't. That's why I said all kin folks ain't skin folks. And when you're talking about the Portuguese, honey, you got to be talking about where was the Portuguese slaving at? Over in
Brazil and the African continent.
That's where you talk about. They ain't not over here on the mainland. This is what you got to understand, sweetheart. The French, they only did in Louisiana, but there was the Indians that was already there. We know who the Africans are. This is why I said my segment the other day about the Jamaicans. I was not trying to be funny. Literally,
You brought
they
the
know
receipts, Cream Mother.
they
You
know
brought
where they
receipts.
brought the majority of the Africans and put them because they were people of other descents that were the slave masters. You're talking um English, British colonies, okay? Then you got French, you got Portuguese. They was bringing their African slaves there. They had no pull like that on the mainland. Even when you look up Italy and you find out where they brought their slaves to, it's going to tell you in the Caribbeans in South America. You really have to push off the mainland, bro.
And we're getting tired of you trying to leech off of us and attach
He
yourself
just
to
has
us.
to be
Now, I don't
cared
want to
for.
call you a parasite,
No, he's
King
not.
Cass.
He's
No, I'm
learning.
not. I said I don't want to call him that, but the behavior is parasitic.
How am I
Now,
leeching off of you, though? I'm
people
reading the
cannot,
definition. I
people
didn't
could,
make the definition up.
bro, bro, King Cass, King Cass.
You're regurgitating it. You're regurgitating something you do not. How do you know? How do you
All right.
know?
Because if white people are using to describe us, right?
Say that
They're
again.
describing
Hold
us,
on. Back up. Say that
Oh, but
again.
and they're comparing us to Africans, right? They're using us
they,
to describe. They say these are Negroes.
yeah, but
Negroes are from Africa. This is what they're saying. They equate Negro
okay.
with Africa to the point where
Okay.
they
So
have the
what
whole
I'm
message
telling
say
you,
Negro.
my young man, I'm telling you, states can do what the hell they want to you. But when it comes to going to the Supreme Court justice, you can't change the column headings on their federal documents, bruh. That is not how. I showed you Jamaica's. That's what Jamaica did to their people. All right. Here on our census sheet, it says color and race. You can't do it, bruh. You can't. Now, I'm showing you this because it's gonna hurt. Yeah, it hurts, but you gotta look. Let me see. Let me get back to it.
Can somebody tell
It's
this
going so
this
slow.
lady in the chat,
Now,
girly girl,
look.
wasn't a part of Miami sex card or whatever the heck she
Okay.
talking
Here. Look here, sweetheart. You see it up yet?
about?
All right. What do you see? You see all former British colonial.
British stock,
All
dependency.
right. Now, look at here, honey. 3,178,595. These are all records from Jamaica, sweetheart. All right. Just Jamaica alone. That's 3 million. This is how the Jamaican government did it. So what I'm saying is here, and I was not doing that to be funny the other day when I was talking about the Jamaicans, why they're probably standing strong on their racial identity of being African. I was very serious in that because they literally were brought here to be slaves. So we can't fight them. But the issue that I had with it is coming over here and claiming reparations. You can't do that because your enslavement, the enslavement place of your ancestors, were in Jamaica, not on the mainland. Anybody who, even if you were born here and you're Jamaican, right? When you're doing your genealogy, it's going to take you back to those slave census sheets in Jamaica. So what I was saying is you cannot fight for reparations on the mainland. We don't have nothing to do with how the Queen slaved you over there in Jamaica. You can't fight in the 50 states for our tax dollars to pay reparations to what England did to you over there. Is all I was trying to clarify and getting people to understand. A lot of them are from Africa. Not all of them, but the majority of them. wasn't saying that to be funny. And when I was telling that to Q Butter, no, and when I was telling that to anybody, but the 99% of, I almost want to go 99.9% of the Africans were brought in the islands and South America and Central America. They clearly tell you that even when you go to their website, and I went to Portugal's website and clarified the information to where they took their slaves. I went to their country's website. I went to France's website. I went to Italy's website. Yeah. So you got to be careful. And now I clearly understand the deep dislike between Pookie and Ray Ray and a brother from the island. So when
Queen Mother, can I ask you something?
Go ahead, bro.
Girly girl, and I'm here on the doorstep, had two wives. One, not just, well, she's not Creole, but she comes more from the north where Menden is. But Creole, specifically to those out of Louisiana culture, is Spanish, French, and American Indian, not African. If you see that comment that Girly Girl made earlier
I
in the
never
stream,
said Creole was from Africa.
no, I know I didn't say you did. I'm saying people like King Cass want to
Oh.
co-opt language, mulatto, Creole, even mestizo,
Oh.
and claim it's African is my point
Oh.
that I'm
Right.
saying. So what I'm suggesting, particularly gumbo, because this dimwit actually wants to keep saying gumbo's from Africa. This is the point I'm making, Queen Mother. This is cultural appropriation.
I
This is
gave you the
identity
origin of the
theft.
word. I
This
gave
is
you
the.
the origin
I'm
of the word,
speaking
Joe, man.
to Queen Mother, and I'm not going to ask her to eject you from your house, but you do need to start learning some respect, son.
I mean, you called me a name and said gumbo.
No, I
You did it, Joe, man.
said
You haven't
to
disapproved. You haven't moved.
Queen Mother Negro, since you want to steal that too, that Pan Africans like to steal and culturally appropriate American Indian existence. That is what I was saying, Queen
Can
Mother.
you show me
Now,
the word
referencing,
gumbo in Indian
oh,
language, sir?
Jesus Christ, man.
Can you show it to me?
As girly girl 72 was saying, Queen Mother, the understanding from the people themselves is Spanish, French, and American Indian mixture. Is that your understanding, Queen Mother? Now, it's something different, but the Creole Geechee Gullah on your doorstep in South Carolina, what's different about that than what we understand Creole versus Cajun, I might add? Cajun is the pale skinned crackers, if you will, in Louisiana, the swamp people. The Creole are the Negroes. You see what I'm saying, Queen Mother?
I do.
And this identity theft is a real issue.
It is. It
We
is.
have people culturally appropriating our essence, our existence. They're trying to say whoever we are, whatever we do, the black inventors, the hip hop is now Caribbean. You see what I'm saying? These are just continuations of eradicating the American by allowing others to attach themselves to us and steal our shit. I don't know. That's just an opinion.
See,
Queen
just
Mother.
basically say that you're xenophobic because now you went from I'm after Africans and we ain't African to we ain't claiming the rest of our brothers in the Caribbean or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Who is multi-generation?
Come on.
That mulatto
Oh,
fool
that's
that
my
used to
boy.
be
That's my
Afro
boy. Yo.
Diaspora News, he's the one that calls ice on niggas, Queen Mother.
No, he switched up. He's balanced. He said he not Pan African no more. He cool.
All right,
If
I'm not
that's
gonna stop.
multi-generational mulatto, Sister Bethy, he used to be Afro Diaspora News. And I have said and will continue to say the news of the day is African nigger slaves will forever be African nigger slaves, whether they call themselves mulatto, mestizo, Creole,
But
or
understand.
whatever the packaging is
Okay.
from El
I,
DeBarge,
all right.
El
Well,
Bay Shore.
let me get back into my lesson. When you see
I know big
mulatto,
up family.
when you see mulatto on The United States, 50 states census sheets, all it means is color. Mulatto is not a race. It's a color.
Yes,
It's
and
a mixture.
I appreciate you
It's
having
a
me up.
mixed color.
Oh, all right.
It's a mixed color. So when you I'm lecturing my audience, and I'm gonna start moving people off the panel because I'm very serious about this. When you see your birth certificates, I'm not speaking in Jamaica. I have no pull over how that country identified their people, but they truly put African on their census sheets if they were truly Africans. All right. If the United States knew African, it would have been. And there's like very few people where you're going to see Africa on their census sheets. Now, understand this color, like I told you, and colored, it was always about the color of the skin. It had nothing to do with race. That's not a race. It's an identifier. It's an observational identifier. They want to know what color is this person? Colored. Negro. What color is this person? Negro. Now you get over to, we need a distinguishment now. Like in Jamaica, are they African or are they Creole? And they were very clear on who was African on the sheets and who was Creole. United States never classified you on your birth certificates. They only put down the color. So when you see Negro and black and colored, that's all that is. It's an identifier of the color of the person. Are they dark or are they white? That's it. Nothing else.
And Sister
And don't
Betty,
you
may I please say
and
something?
don't you no, not yet.
All right, you haven't even
Do
greeted
it.
me yet.
I don't have to do. You're on my kingdom.
So that means you have to be
Hold on,
hospitable.
You're all
hold
right.
on,
You gotta
multi
go.
generation.
Bye.
No,
Get
no, no,
your
no, no,
ass
no! Don't
out
let
of
him
here.
go. No.
Nope, nope. You gotta go. You're kicked from the studio. I'm not fucking with y'all today. Kicked from the studio. You don't walk up here in my kingdom with respect. You got to go. You just come on my panel, unmute your mic, and talk while I'm lecturing you out your fucking mind. You will respect my panel. Now, come back next week with a better attitude. Now, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it. And I don't care who don't like it. If you don't like it, unsubscribe and never come back again. I'm lecturing my people about what I know in these here 50 states. When you see in colored, Negro, and black on your birth certificates, that is not your race. With the federal government, it has always been an identifier of the color of your skin. I'm telling you, and I've showed you where the Africans went, the bulk of them. They was not having that within the confines of the 50 states because, like Ben Franklin said, it was too many of us here. So they was telling British, yo, don't bring them here. So instead they reverted to the islands with their African slaves coming in. Over here on the mainland, North America, mainland, where we are within the confines of the 50 states, they wanted to bring more Europeans that look like them because it was so few of them here. And I read that to you, and I'm going to pull it up again. I'm not letting these crumb snatchers bring their ass in here and try to divert what I'm showing you to be factually true. Where is he at? I know it's up here. Just it. Nope, that's not it.
One point though,
But
Queen
this is
Mother.
also helpful. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just underscoring what you said by just in the indoctrination itself. The triangle slave trade that you were taught, that I was taught, particularly the first integrated supposed generation of Negroes, was
Hmm.
rum, molasses, and slaves, right?
Yeah.
And the tips of those triangle always ended in the Caribbean islands. As I
Yes.
was trying to tell you last time we talked, then one must lend credence to such a thing as buck breaking, alleged in the slave narrative of Kunta Kinte that they
Hmm.
broke the African, stripped him, and those that were successfully broken were shipped to the mainland. But the population ended in the Caribbean islands. Now, what is molasses but sugarcane? Right? Where was the rum made? Presumably, the cane was gotten from the Caribbean islands, taken to Europe, made into rum. The rum was then traded for other drunk African tribal chieftains who gave up slaves for
Hmm.
continuing the triangular trade. You see what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Is that not what we were taught?
Yes.
But the end point of the triangle is the Caribbean island chains. That's why they were referred to as the West Indies.
Right.
Then Europe, then Africa. That's the
Correct.
triangle, right?
Yep.
That's all. I was just trying to underscore what you were pointing out. Please continue.
That's a
That
fact.
beautiful bean footage.
So what I was saying, even back in 1751 with Ben Franklin, this is very true because Ben was on the mainland where we are within the confines of the 50 states because it is them that were trying to build up their population on the mainland. And that's why he said, do not increase the sons of Africa because you got to remember they're from Europe. So they see dark people as Africans no matter what. It was too many of us over here already being the Indians.
So if
That
you
the
had
number
that
of
opinion, you weren't
now
going to increase bringing more darkies. Is that what I'm hearing you say,
that is the
Queen
very
Mother?
correct, and I'm going to read it
Okay.
for you. Yep. That the number of purely white people in the world we're talking, is proportionably very small. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia, chiefly tawny. America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. Where are we over here in the North American continent? America, excluding, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion, as are the Germans. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. I could wish their numbers were increased. And while we are, as I may call it, scouring our planet by clearing America of woods, and so making this side of our globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants in Mars or Venus. Why should we, in the sight of superior beings, darken its people? Why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America? Why? We have so fair an opportunity by excluding all blacks and tawnies of increasing the lovely white and red. Perhaps I am partial to the complexion of my country, for such kind of partiality is natural to mankind. Now, I'm not going to keep saying this. This is why I said that a lot of numbers and people that's running around here fighting and got these big, huge audiences following after them for reparations. They're not thinking with a straight fucking head because these are the 50 states, and these 50 states' tax dollars is not paying for your ancestors' enslavement in the islands and other countries of the America. We're not doing it. It's going to be a whole fight up at the table with the Supreme Court justices. These perhaps that guy, the Bradford guy in California, saying, "Look, do your genealogy." I might be the bad bearer of news, but you're from Jamaica, Pooh. Your ancestors. I can't represent you getting reparations from the United States as a senator.
Queen Mother, can I share
For
something with you?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it very
can,
real. Let's
can I
have a
share something
summit
with you?
so you know where you really came from.
Can I share? A Straight Smoke may have heard this from our good brother Furio, because I asked him directly what his opinion was of reparations as a topic, and I'm paraphrasing his response. Straight could correct me if I made some errors in what I'm communicating. He said, "At first, you need to repatriate." You remember that, Straight Smoke? You
Yup.
remember that? Did you hear him say that?
Yup.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Did you hear that
Yup.
part of the conversation, Straight
Yeah,
Smoke?
I did. Man, that was I swear to you, Ali Bamu. He killed me today. He killed the game for me today. If you thinking this an out of Africa movement, you
Oh
gravely
God!
stupid. I'm done.
And
And
I'm
he's in
paraphrasing
Africa,
what he
and then
said.
he killed me.
He says you need to repatriate, then request your reparations, or what? What did you hear him say? Or what? You building up Babylon?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I'm trying to tell you. So, and what killed me, Alabama, was people in the chat at that time trying to downplay this guy, knowing they ain't never put a foot in that continent.
You mean like Marcus Mosiah Garvey?
Mm.
Their African president hero?
Say it again, man.
Who never stepped foot on. You mean like Christopher Columbus?
Yeah, he was
Who
trying to find
never
who?
stepped foot on the mainland?
Mm. Mm.
You know what facts are, Straight Smoke? Facts are stubborn things. That's a quote from Ronald Wilson Reagan. Facts are stubborn things.
Tough
So
pill to
I
swallow.
suggest, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's a tough pill to swallow, but unfortunately, what I'm starting to see is that people need to go ahead and put their feelings to the side and drop the ignorance. That's primarily what it is. And after listening today, if you're referencing yourself as a black anything, you're upholding the indoctrination of your slave master.
How did even the presence of that good brother feel from the motherland? I'm sorry, from the other land.
Man, it was just it was just like a breath of fresh air to hear from across the pond give us his take from across the pond. That was the most powerfulest thing that anyone could have possibly heard to me. I mean, I even put in the chat that this was the most awesomest thing I ever seen. Because how often do we get to actually talk to somebody where
Calmly,
everyone
level
where
headed.
everybody claim they're from, they're claiming where they're from.
And who did he say taught him Straight Smoke? Where did he get his education from?
You
The
already know.
Negro in America?
Mm.
Did you know that,
All right.
Queen Mother? I don't know how
Say
much
that
you got to
again.
listen in. Our good brother Furio that we interacted with earlier today. Essentially, I'm
Oh,
paraphrasing.
I had just came in there, so I didn't hear anything. But
Oh, you
Oh,
didn't hear none of what Furio chopped it up with
oh
us?
my God.
no, I
Oh
didn't hear
my,
any of
oh
that
my
segment.
God.
I was
And
at
not a
work.
coincidence. I know,
I was
yes,
at
you were.
work.
And
I
Shah's
was,
son came in and clown. But I am sat there and I kept calling him out repeatedly. He refused to utter a word.
Yeah, he wouldn't say a word.
The Pan
He would not say
Africans
a word.
scattered, Queen Mother, when an African is in the house.
oh, they gonna always do that. Oh yeah.
But he essentially said his indoctrination was made in America. I mean, if you heard something different, straight smoke, feel free, brother.
Cambridge. All of it came from indoctrination. Cambridge University, and subsequently that is the Saxon indoctrination. He said
And
you had.
what said he about I'm not an African? Share that, straight smoke.
Oh my God, that part right there. What did he say? He called himself a giant African. Giant. What was it? What was it, Michelle? I can't remember offhand how he stated that. He did not reference himself to being an African.
And he brought up Ethiopia, Queen Mother, and Haile Selassie, and he's a Rastafari.
Mm-hmm. The man said we inhabit, from his research and understanding, that we were all over the globe.
Oh yeah.
He was like, he knew his people came from here to there.
Yeah.
So for anybody, that's what I'm saying. For anybody to say they're from Africa to here, I'm not saying that. But my whole thing is like like I love Smoke Signal. He always asks people blunt ass questions. Blunt ass, my dude, what tribe you from? That's all it is right there. Since you say you're a descendant, what tribe?
Oh yeah. So that, I don't want to be on here long. I've been on for 2 hours. I want people to watch this segment and understand what Negro, colored, and means on your ancestors' birth certificates and death certificates. It's always been about color. Negro is not a race. It's not. Colored is not a race.
Queen Mother.
It's a distinguishment of colors.
Queen Mother, could you bring up the comment of John A., if you see it there on the screen, about Negro de Terra, American, Negro de Guinea, African?
Right.
You see his comment there? And I don't need to lie on Shy Son or not a coincidence. Y'all are perpetuators of propaganda and lies. So no, I don't need to speak to you or speak to your ignorance. Your mouth opens and we hear it. Now, all that means is Portuguese use negro as you explained, Queen Mother.
Correct.
Negro is dark, not black, not a coincidence.
Correct.
And still I salute you.
We're not worrying about these fools. So with that being said, I want to leave this segment so people can begin to understand what's really on their birth certificates. The United States never racially classified you. They always observed who you are based on your skin tone. And
now, Queen Mother, since you're kicking me off stage left like Snagglepuss, you know I love your place or my place. But love and peace and Afro Sheen hair grease on the